No. It's time for an upgrade.
Salve and welcome to a Q&A with some orcs. Oh, it's you.
Oh, hi, I'm Chloe Chaos.
You had to get that in, didn't you?
Well, I am Chloe Chaos.
Oh, look who it is.
I came here to answer questions.
So, it's time to answer some of those Q's with our A's.
It's true.
First question, Zach.
Dramatic reading. We haven't put who any of these questions are from. You've not helped in any way with this. So, for context, Sammy has copy and pasted all the questions, but not put who they're from. So, we're sorry.
It's all his fault, blame
by
Sammy.
we mean Chloe and myself. I
It's all
assume
me.
Sammy
I feel like
isn't.
he's our child. We're like responsible for him at this
He is our
point now.
child.
God, we
Christ.
made ugly babies.
We made ugly baby. We should not have another one.
No.
How would you introduce someone to the Imperial Orcs? Empire's introduction to the factions can be harsh for new players. So, well, I guess I don't know really. I guess I do. No, you got to do the sunglasses as well.
Oh.
I've kind of helped
Don't
a
have
few
the
people ish, and what I did before was I'd point them in the right direction, get them talking to the right people. And actually, a couple of my friends have talked about coming along. Still haven't. We'll work on that. And especially for the Imperial Orcs, my immediate thing is get Daddy Dorswood on the case.
You cannot call him Daddy
Look, he's my
Dorswood.
father. I need a father figure, otherwise I'm irresponsible. Yeah, so direct them to the correct people, and that'd be the Egregores as well, both Chris and Ed now.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
having two Egregores. Yeah, really handy, because on the times that I've had to help people who are new to the Orcs, it's just make a group chat and then, try and put what input I can, but you shouldn't listen to anything I say. Christ, it's just a terrible idea. Why did I lead with this question?
I don't know.
Two probably much more responsible, not probably, definitely more responsible players to have answered that. Does that answer the question? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I
That's probably a bad answer.
no, I think just be welcoming to new people.
Yeah.
Try it, help push role play for them. Because the worst thing is going to any new place, whether it be in the Orcs or anything like that. Going into a place that you don't know people, just welcome, be friendly.
It's intimidating as well. Really intimidating.
Yeah,
That first,
definitely.
the first event's scary.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like, actually the first 10 minutes is like, oh. And then after that, it felt
think it's
quite
all,
natural for me at least.
Yeah.
If you know what banner you're going to join, I think it's like try and speak to them before you go
Yeah.
to the event. Because
Yeah, definitely.
for me, I found talking to Matt and that lot made it a lot easier because I was already going in going, well, actually I've spoken to you a couple of times and I actually know you, so it's not so scary. I'm not role playing with all these new people. It's and I've told them oh, I'm really worried about this, and they've gone, that's fine, we get you. From what I can see, all of the banner people are super lovely, and they'll all just be like, yo, we got you, it's fine.
Yeah. What was your first experience of LARP? We'll go left to right on this one, I reckon. That's the best way of...
As in Empire or LARP in general?
LARP in general.
Yeah.
So the very first LARP system I went to was called Labyrinth, and it was in Chiselhurst Caves.
Oh, I've heard of this one.
I tell you what, it's a really fun day out, but it is based a lot on fighting, and it does the whole singles, doubles, and stuff. So for someone who's never LARPed before, they're like, what?
Sorry, I had a yawn. It wasn't a boring question, I just had a yawn.
Thanks, Zach. And so that was my first experience of LARP. I turned up wearing a cosplay. I looked terrible, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most fun I've had in a long time. And so I did a couple of sessions there, and then a friend of mine I worked with got me into Empire. But I think they're different systems. One of them was me hitting people with a sword, and then Empire was me actually making a character and actually role playing. It was scary,
Yeah.
but I did not regret it. They're so enjoyable. It's my favourite
It's
thing to do apart
very
from
enjoyable.
sleeping.
My favourite thing, sleeping, LARP. We won't say the third one.
I think so. My first experience of LARP was, I think, it was a very, very long time ago.
Yeah, when dinosaurs were
When
in there.
dinosaurs were on the
Me and
earth.
Zach weren't born
No.
yet.
Oh, I swore.
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty much, I had a friend come to me and be like, so it's my birthday coming up. It's like, yeah. And he was just like, so you don't have to give me a present, but can you come to this thing? And I'm just like, that sounds shady. And then he sat down and he turned and said, right, this is LARP. And I'm just like, this seems nerdy and boring and I want to do this. And it's like, oh, it's fine, don't worry, you don't have to make a character or anything, you can just be a monster. And I was like, well, what's that? And it's like, you just get to go hit things. And I was like, okay. And he's like, and in the evening you can drink. And I was like, okay. And then...
This is when Sammy was in his edgy phase.
It was.
Wait, he's out of that?
Yeah.
No, I'm still
Oh.
there. And then I went to what would be in its beta stages of the Green Cloaks LARP. And yeah, turned up really late on the first night. Couldn't really see anything. Woke up in the morning. I was in a random field with a load of strangers.
That's how I was born.
Yeah, so...
Our last... what's LARP?
Who are you again?
My first experience with LARP was Empire. And there's actually a question later on about my first LARP character. My first LARP character was Crunk.
Wow, you really are a newbie, aren't
I
you?
really am. I had never, like, one of the crazy things, and actually only until recently, never done Dungeons and Dragons before, never done any of that
Right, so
before.
you came in like
And so
properly
I
like,
came in,
what is
well, basically I saw a YouTube video of Empire. It was Adam Heritage, who's now ULARP, and he had a YouTube video of a battle, and I was like, holy flippins, that's cool as hell. And
Flippins?
Flippins, I don't know, I've got to improvise swear words, I've got to make my own ones. And yeah, I was like, I really want to do that. And then I found Empire, and yeah. That's
Now
what I did.
we're friends, apparently.
Well, friends is a loose term.
Wow.
It's really hard to read with the sunglasses on.
Why
And
don't
I'm wearing contact lenses, so I'm basically blind. Of all the various items you have purchased, found, or been given, what's the most expensive, what was the cheapest, and what was your favourite, and what was the best value for money?
That's quite in-depth question.
That's a very in-depth question.
That
We're
was
gonna
a lot
forget the
to
points. Right, I
take
tell you
in.
what, let's divvy it up. We'll have one of the points each, rather than all three of us doing
Ooh,
favourite and all that.
Okay.
So, Chloe, you can do, what was the most expensive?
The thing I've bought or been given.
You
'Cause
can't
people
count
don't
human
give me
beings.
stuff.
Yeah,
No, so go for bought.
football.
Probably my mask.
Yeah. Mask ain't cheap.
Yeah, my mask was probably my most expensive thing. So obviously as well, I've got like all the hair, and I had to buy like the amount
Bits and
of
bobs and
stuff that is in like
stuff.
that is because it's just like unidentified stuff
Yeah.
in it. So, but like yeah, my mask with all the hair has probably cost me over £100.
Damn.
Big money.
It's a lot of hair, girl.
That's a lot of hair, girl.
Right, what's my one?
Your one. What is the cheapest item you've bought?
Himself.
Crunk.
I mean, I go for
Free.
free. Jesus. I think the cheapest, like,
would, no.
actual decent thing, would most probably be a tunic that I found.
I was hoping you were gonna be like, oh yeah, I got this really good deal on this weapon. No, it was a
No.
tunic,
It was a tunic.
but it was lilac.
It was actually crimson.
We do actually have lilac
but-
tunics that Janet made
Yeah.
for our Grendel kit, and it's really I like.
Because Janet is on the
Sometimes I wear it around the house, and I'm like,
I'm a pretty princess.
Mine was a tunic I bought for maybe like £2 in a charity shop.
I mean, it's definitely favouritism because mine's. What was your favourite? My favourite is probably my Sander hammer. That thing
Yeah.
is a beastie boy. I love swinging it around. I love hitting people.
I love hitting you with it.
I
It's
love
great.
hitting me with it. Sometimes I do hit myself in the head with it. Check it's hard enough. Yeah, that's probably my favourite item. And the last one, apart of that, is the best value for money. So we'll all answer that one.
Best value for money, it's always going to be the weapons I get from, my guy who does weapons is always giving me
Mine's right here.
fair stuff.
This mask was the best value for money because it was on the Younger Build sale thing. 40 quid. 40 quid for
Not
this mask.
bad, actually.
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. I was blown
It's
away.
a deal. It's the sale of the century.
That's a wheelless dealers. The hair on it was a bit, but it's okay.
you can't say that.
It's a swear word.
Yes.
Right.
Say my.
Yeah,
Oh,
go on.
God.
Best value for money.
Debbie, right?
Yeah.
The skull cost me £8.
£8, okay.
Everything else on it was free, including the stick, which I privateered from the
Stole.
woods. But privateered.
Permanently borrowed. Reeve.
Reeve. I used to live like onto a woods, and I may or may have not cut a tree down for it. I
Nice.
can't prove anything.
I love,
yeah.
love the shaking and the smile there.
It's like a psycho smile. For the characters, this is the third time we've done this. By the way. For the characters, what is the best thing that has happened to you, and what is the worst?
Go on, Sam, you go first.
Sam.
Sam?
Sammy?
Best thing, beating Vio.
Yeah, it was a cool moment.
Worst thing was fighting when Scar went down and just not being able to push forward with the sea of enemy coming towards us. I think that was the worst thing because I literally was there trying to fight through all of these things. By the time I'd got there to do the whole stay with me thing, it was too late, and I was like, no.
Brother.
I was sad. That was some sad times.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, that's my one.
Chloe, you want to go? The best thing. I'm not really sure about the best thing. There's been a lot of really cool stuff happen.
I think you becoming my apprentice.
That was fun. Yeah,
was
that
one of
was
the best
nice.
things
That was
for you.
good. And actually, joining the Pale Rictors was a really good thing because actually I have so much fun with those guys, in and out of character. But in character, probably the best thing is all the stuff that me and Jura do together, or Crunk and Jura do together. Like the dynamic duo. I'm trying to think
Troublesome
about
twosome.
That's it, the troublesome twosome. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff we did together.
And your worst
The
one?
worst was when Gator and the Door died, because that was just before I actually became a Reaver, and I remember it was when it was E1 last year. We were fighting the Druge, and we were called to retreat, and he was there next to me, and then I turned around just to watch him get swallowed by the Druge line. Never saw him again, and in character it was like, ugh. Because Door was a huge inspiration for Crunk. Like,
Yeah.
like good friends, used to get in lots of trouble together. Chloe?
So, my favourite moment was cursing Grolka because it was my first event and like Aurora is really interested in curses, and I have nothing against
Edgy.
Grolka. Grolka's cool.
Edgy.
No Archmage.
Yeah,
But it was
Archmage.
fun just like trying to set it all up, and obviously like it was when it was like Mudpocalypse, so like we had to run from like one side of the field from the Reggio in the mud, and then afterwards as well, like when the curse happened there was loads of like really cool roleplay, like people were shouting at each other and I was like, oh my god, we're all gonna die, and for me that was like a really cool thing.
A little bit, yeah.
My worst moment is proposing to you.
You did that yourself.
No, right, okay. No, I did not. This is
You
all
did,
Jack's
though.
fault,
Well,
and I no longer want to be part of this.
I'm just noticing your nose rings slowly forming out of your face.
It's because it wants to get away from you.
Well,
Wow.
You shouldn't have proposed then. The power is in my hands.
I think you should say yes.
I haven't said anything yet, and I won't until I think the time is right. How much would you say the average beginner's LARP gear would cost?
$1 million.
$1 million.
I would say
Billions
it depends.
and billions and billions.
I'd say it depends on the LARP system you're going to. You can go to some sci-fi or post-apoc LARPs, and you can go to a charity shop and pick up most of your stuff for about, a tenner. And then there's other stuff where if like you're being an orc,
Yeah.
you've got to shoot like 60 quid to begin with on a mask, unless you find deals, things like that. And then it could range anywhere once you've got all your costume ready, about 150.
It was like armor as well. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna fight, you're gonna want plate or chainmail. Chainmail is not cheap.
I guess the one thing I would add to that, it's not really part of the question, but it kind of is. If you're thinking, especially with the orcs, thinking about coming over, talk to people first. There's plenty of kit that you'll be able to borrow. My first event, I borrowed armour. I borrowed armour off people, and actually one of my friends who I came with on our first event together, Sean, he borrowed a mask. And it's a lot of money, especially for orcs. It's a lot of money to put into it
You
and not
gave
like
me
it.
my greaves and my arm braces. Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah.
So you gave me my
Yeah.
my stuff, and like I've given stuff to other orcs because I've been like, oh, I don't need this, but I'll give it to someone in the nation. Like, if you can make stuff, it makes it a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Like my orc kit did not cost me a lot of money because I made it. All I had to buy was like leather and thread and stuff like that. So for me, I saved a lot of money. But even when I was in Wintermark as well, I made all my kit. So like if you've got friends, you're supporting them, and two, you can get some really cool kit for
I guess
an okay price.
the answer is be talented. Make it yourself.
Says you.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I can't. I'm useless.
You do this. It's okay. Your new intro is great though.
Yeah,
Look
that
at
intro.
I worked really hard on that. It was,
That intro I haven't seen yet. It's fantastic. Chloe, if Aurora was ever deaded or retired, I almost said it again by accident, just because I was thinking about it. What would your next character be, and why would it be a second Legion orc?
Whoa, laddie, don't assume things like that.
Don't assume my legion.
Did you just assume my Legion?
Those jokes aren't funny.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think I'd go to the second Legion. I think I'd go play another nation, probably the Marchers for like a little bit, because I feel like if I were to go straight into another orc, it'd just be Aurora like 2.0, and nobody wants that ever. One Aurora isn't enough. So I'd probably go over to the Marchers for a little bit and then come back and potentially play Aurora. That might be a bit fire. But it's fine, Aurora's never going to die because she
That's
basically is the best thing about Empire.
Yeah.
Apart from Debbie.
Zach. Yes. Is Crunk your first LARP character, or is he but another in a long line of crazy boys? I answered it already, but yes, Crunk is my first LARP character.
You are just a crazy boy.
Yeah, I don't really play a character. There's a question later on actually about, what do you do to get into character? Turn up. Anyway, yeah. So Crunk is my first character. I'm yet to. That's nice and short and sweet,
Yeah.
but I've overcomplicated
like
it
you.
like ever. I'm average, right? Sammy.
Yes.
If you have more space and resources, I can't read. Why have you put the illiterate person as the reader?
Alright, Zach's responsibility has been taken
I
away
can't.
from
I try and read it, and the spacing. I'm like, why would you put the?
Sammy,
Yeah.
if you had more space and resources for the pit, how would you expand and improve upon it, IC and OC, without turning it into a cliche coliseum?
I don't think you can, if I'm honest.
It's perfect.
It's fine the way it is. It looks the way it looks.
It's hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Like what? Okay, so what would like Bull do? What would Bull want to do to
What
do
would be
more
the
to
best
pit?
pit
Ball
possible?
wouldn't want to do anything because
No?
Ball likes it the way it is
Okay.
because it's an Imperial Orc thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he understands that the pit isn't just about the fights that we do in it, it's about everything else. Me, on the other hand, I
want flamethrowers.
I
and
want
glitter.
pyros, I want an entranceway.
I want a bazooka.
You're not getting a bazooka.
Look, why can't I have a bazooka? In what world would
If he
me
wants a
having
bazooka,
a bazooka?
I want a helicopter.
No.
In what world
I'm an
would
Apache
me having a
helicopter.
bazooka?
Bazooka?
I'ma just start with that line of thought.
Me, personally, maybe put in some safety mats, but that's about
Don't
it.
touch me.
Can I have
Oh,
He's
the
touching me.
Good.
phone?
No,
Can I have
you-
the phone?
you-
Yeah, but I want to read again. Look,
No,
if you don't
you're
let
not
me read, I'm going to
responsible.
swear as much as possible.
No, you're not. What made you pick Imperial Orcs for your nation?
That's not
What made
really
you
weird.
stay, and what would make you leave?
Oh, Sammy did a nice one.
I know, because I've read the question like 6 times. What made me choose Imperial Orcs? Didn't have a choice. Flatmates told me I had
You
to.
got to be an orc.
What would make me leave? If loads of people I didn't like were there, I think that would be the only thing that would make me leave.
Yeah,
If a load of people I genuinely didn't like joined the Imperial Orcs, I'd be like, guys, I'm out.
You know that whoever asked this question, and I'm sorry that Sammy's bad and didn't write names down. However, whoever asked this question
I
has
know,
only
who wrote
asked it so that who wrote it?
Matt D.
Matt only asked this question so that he could find a way to get you out.
Most probably. Matt, thank you, mate.
Or me, or Chloe, or all three of us. That would be preferable.
Nah, I'm too great.
Go on then.
I became an orc because I found out you could be good guy orcs and was like, originally I was going to be Dawn. But there you go, I'm an orc now. What would make me leave? If I had a divorce with my wife, that would make me leave.
I love that. You can just see the little.
And what was the other part?
That was it. What would
There
make
was,
you leave?
there was one more. What
What?
made you stay was the other one.
Ah, genau.
It was a lot of fun, great nation, I love everyone. Sorry.
Gay.
Gay! It's 2019, you can't say that.
But you literally are gay.
You just outed him.
Well, I
Well,
wasn't-
everybody knew.
Bro.
It's like me outing Jack as a furry.
Whoa!
Jack is a furry though.
He is,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, Jack, you're not a furry. Please don't kick me out the banner.
Friends with me now,
I
aren't
don't
Jack?
want to be incestuous.
So I used to be a Wintermarker.
Yep.
And I did that for 5 events, and I was enjoying it, but I was like, all I do is turn up and kind of mess around with my friends and don't really do anything. And I was like, oh, well, I'm terrible at roleplay. So if I go to a nation where I have to be a completely different race, that gives us a thing to roleplay. And then I kind of like started talking to like some of the orcs, and I was like, oh, these people are really cool, I want to come to this nation. And I was like, oh, I can actually make some really cool kit. I'm trying to answer my question.
Sorry, I tried to do it quietly, but I can't do anything
You
quietly.
left the shop!
Yeah, I dabbed as well.
But yeah, I wanted to make some kit, and I was like, you know what, like this is going to be the nation, and I don't regret joining it at all. I've done so much in the like year that I have been Aurora than I ever did in Wintermark.
Cool.
What would make me leave? Having to marry you probably make me leave. I'd be
What was the best and worst tip you were given before starting your first LARP?
The one you gave me was pretty terrible.
Well, what was that? That's so good. I was so slow on picking that up. I'm so bad.
What even happened?
Just
Sorry
carry on
about
answering
it.
the questions, Sammy. What was the best and worst tip you were given before starting your first LARP?
Should we do best first, then worst?
Yeah.
Always remember you've got a fight in the morning.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. The best tip I think I got given was using makeup fixer spray instead of water for snaz. It's really weird and random, but for some reason, for me, that I never thought of that, and it really, really helped.
Best tip. Shout out to Tom Keeley for this one. As an orc, chew airwaves gum. Keep airwaves gum on you all the time because it helps unblock your airways, funnily enough. And that really helps with breathing in the mask. Like, I encourage you. I always carry several packets on me so I can give them to people.
I just thought it's because you smell funny.
No, that's
I might try
also
that.
a second. No, you do. Honestly, it's great. Like it really helps with breathing.
Yeah,
Which,
because I'm
you know,
so
'cause
bad
you
at
kinda
breathing.
need.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hear that. And
Worst bit of advice: you can keep drinking.
That's going to be my one as well.
Yeah, I can't drink as well as I used to. So nowadays it's kind of just like a couple of pints and then, yeah, I'm golden. But I don't get messed up anymore.
I don't actually know if I've ever been given any bad
No, I'm
LARP
trying to
advice,
think of
or
one.
I had and I've gone, mate. Have you got one?
Not really. I can't think of one.
Yeah.
Bad advice. Become an orc.
No, actually, the worst advice I've ever been given was go to Conclave.
That's a good one. I like that. In Conclave.
It's fine now that I know what was going on, but when I had no idea what was going on, I was like,
Nothing.
what's an Eternal? Nani? I was just so like
Nani?
confused.
I
Like,
really can't think of one. The only thing I can think
we did join the Pale Rictus though.
there's more of a regret than so much bad advice. But I really wish I'd got my pole arm a 7 foot instead of 6. What made you pick your current banner and why is it the best?
Yes, next question.
Ashbourne, because I live with the Warlord of the Ashbourne, and it is the best goddamn banner because it allows me to be that goddamn awesome pit fighter.
Pale Rictus, because they poached me, and it's the best because redacted.
What about Gate Renders? Why did you choose the Gate Renders?
The Gate Renders, because it was a really good entry point for me actually.
Yeah?
Because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the character. I had no idea actually where I was going to go with it. I didn't even know if I wanted to carry on. And Luke was really helpful. You know, really
Yeah, it's
gave
really
me a good starting place, I think.
So when I decided I wanted to come to the Yorks, I kind of like had a.
Oh, I thought your answer was just yes.
I have an actual answer.
Speed is key.
So I had looked like through the little thing, and I kind of looked at the descriptors, and I was like, "Oh, Blood Crows, they sound edgy." And then I kind of like spoke to some of them, and I was like, "You know what? This banner feels like the right place for me. It feels like somewhere where I can be a bit of an oddball, but still be on brief. You know, I can make some cool kit. It was sort of like just had everything I wanted.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like Matt would have been really mad if I had gone anywhere else. But
Yeah. Chloe, how do you as a shaman portray to a non-orc what you are and what you hear?
the way that I explain it is very badly, I see, on purpose. I'm like, yeah, well, you know how orcs can, like, hear voices? Yeah, well, I hear those voices all the time, and I mean all the time. Like, I don't really explain it, but, like, if I had to actually say it properly, I'd be like, so some orcs are, like, more sensitive to, like, hearing the ancestors, and I'm one of those, so it means that I can sort of, like, hear them all the time, and I can advise people on things like that, even though I literally never do that ever because I'm terrible and no one should ever take advice from me ever.
I did that and I got both my legs cut off in a war.
And they were engaged, so it's all going well.
I mean, that's
I
pretty
think,
bad,
yeah, like, the way it's almost like someone who's a bit more in touch with, like, you know, orc hearth magic and things like that. I mean, I play, like, a shaman who's got pretty bad, crazy, like, shaman crazy already.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like, Aurora is young, and she's not all there. And she's
Okay.
very young
She
already.
crazy.
She crazy.
Yeah, she is. She's lovely, but
Cra-
she's
crazy good.
Coco.
Yeah.
Right. Next, Zach, with your background as both, how do you express the difference between you as a Reaver now and you as a Legionnaire? That's a good question. Thanks, Dave. I know that's your one because when I read it, I was like, oh man, that's a great question. Well, to Crunk, I think the decision to leave the Legions and become a Reaver was all about making his legend. Because in Crunk's eyes, the way he's going to make his legend is by being standout, being different from other orcs. You know, because often when people ask me, you know, why did you leave the Legion? Well, because if I stay in the Legion and do the same thing as, you know, X amount of other orcs, why is that special? What's special about what I've done? So, yeah, I think the reason and the kind of like the line I draw is that Crunk left the Legion to make his name, to make his legend, and to cross the abyss and become an ancestor. That's a scary thought.
I would not.
Imagine hearing Crunk.
So I kind of feel like what you're trying to say is Crunk's a snowflake.
Crunk's a snowflake. Sammy,
Yep.
if through whatever means you had to change archetype, what would you be and why? That's a good question.
That's a very good
Save
question.
with the good question.
I know, right? Straight up, I would be a bone setter.
Ooh.
Love a bit of wheeler dealing. You know, already made quite a good few friends that can most really help me out with that. I am most probably, you know, when I do retire from being a pitfire, I'm going to have to find something else to do.
I could see Bull as being like this really cool, like, you know, bone setter.
Yeah.
He's just like,
As someone who does both, it is fun.
What up, fam? Here's my secrets.
they got the bones.
They got the bones. Right, go on, next one then.
Next question. Does Crunk still feel the pangs of disloyalty for becoming a dirty Reaver? Or is this how he'll make his legend? And that was from John, because again, I saw that and I was like... kind of answered that in the last one, but yeah, Crunk fully believes that being a Reaver is how he's going to make his legend, being stand out from the crowd. And a little bit though, there's always a kind of, especially when Dax died, there was like actually Dax and Jassu, both of them dying at the same time, there was a very... I didn't take the battlefield that day either, and so when I came back and found out, there was kind of like a moment. Not that I'm saying me being there would have made a difference at all, but no, unless I'm thinking about like Door's always, if people bring up Crunk's a bit like, oh, Door would be so mad at me. Chloe, how do you feel about your upcoming IC wedding? What have you been doing to prepare for the big day?
This is Jack.
This is my bone daddy.
I mean, I'm only in this situation because of Jack. Thanks, Jack. I don't think us getting married would actually be a good idea because one of us would have to change banner. And I don't want to be a Reaver. Also, as well, like, I feel like Aurora can actually marry someone a lot better.
Zach, just how do you manage to get your hair so unruly? Maybe you're worth it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Basically, it's part of a very important diet. Every day, I brush my hair with nothing but leaves. And that, kids, is how you grow very good hair.
Ooh.
I think you're bowling at the back there.
Sammy, what are your future aspirations for Bull? If he were to quit pit fighting and take up an honest job, what do you think it would be?
I love the honest job.
Yeah, especially coming from a Reaver. That is from Jack.
I know. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate that, mate. I think I've already said it. Go as a bone setter. And steal all of the Reaver's money.
I like the idea of Bull working in a bar.
I was working as a waitress in a
But like,
cocktail
but
bar.
like, yeah, but in like a
Bull's
cute little
working
dress,
as a
being
waitress
like,
in a cocktail bar. How do you all get prepped for your characters, and how far off are they from your real personalities?
I think Ball isn't too far from me. I think it's just an exaggeration at certain points. How do I get ready? Watch wrestling. Like old pay-per-views, things like that to get ideas, and then before the event I'll listen to a lot of Clash. The mixture of rock, punk and reggae kind of just is how I kind of built the character originally, like listening to a lot of that while I was making it, so it kind of always gets me back into the same mindset of what I created him as. You?
I don't know. Like, Aurora's weird because there's a lot of things she would do that I know are wrong. Like, there's a lot of things that, like, I wouldn't do, and there's a lot of things that she says that I wouldn't do, but I'm doing them because I know they're, like, the wrong thing to do or the wrong thing to say. I'd say she's a, like, I don't know, I want to say it's similar to me, but I also don't, because, like, I'm lame, and Aurora's, like, the coolest thing ever.
I'm lame.
I would say, if anything, Aurora's just a more childish version of you.
Ooh, I like that.
Because she will literally muck around. It's been to the point where we've been sat there for, like, 3 hours, and you've just not stopped taking the mickey out of me.
That's how she shows affection. That's why she's not very nice to you. She's like...
It shows affection.
She does it by insulting you, but like with you, she's
Yeah.
just like, don't touch me.
It's not true. You actually, that's not what you said last.
Anyway, next question. No, sure, you got to answer it.
Oh yeah, I have. How do I get prep for my character? So first, it's a 56 meditation ritual. No. So to get prep for my character, I don't know. I don't really do that much.
Just wind yourself up, really,
I
don't
do. I
just-
really just like. I kind of get a bit pumped
I
up.
think
a bit.
Thursday helps you.
Thursday does, because Thursday I get to like do, especially the pit safety stuff. I get to talk about the pit. I get to go and set up Reaver Central, or pretend to work while Liam and Andy do it.
At least you're being honest.
Yeah, I can't lie.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. In terms of how different, it's as you said, really. It's just more childish, and I'm pretty childish anyway. But I take out some of the really vulgarness.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't think Crunk's that.
No, I think
No.
you mute yourself quite a bit.
Definitely.
I think
but,
Crunk's as vulgar as like a 12-year-old is.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, he's a
"Ooh, Willy
kid.
Bum, hoo-hoo," kind
He's a
of thing.
kid.
Yeah.
Like Crunk's only 17. Bless the little bean.
And Rory's only 19.
Then it's still illegal. What's the most difficult situation your character has had to manoeuvre their way through?
I think it was when me and because I mentioned it in my favourite parts for E1 was where me and Cal went up to I think it was Highguard or one of them, I can't remember exactly where it was, and they were doing the Parade of the Dead.
Yeah.
They had all the torches and things like that, and then we awkwardly got ourselves into the situation, awkwardly, like having to carry the torches with them. So we walk inside, and it was that bit of like, you know, not everyone's fans of orcs.
Yeah.
And when we started walking
Especially
off into
Highguard.
the back of the marches, where there's no tents or anything like that, I'm there just like, I'm going to die. They are going to jump me any minute. And then when we got back, like, we got as nearest to the Orc camp as we could, and we were like, right, just stop here. And then we had to wait for like 20 of them to pass, like a good 10 minutes of people walking past, and we were just like, oh, nearly died. So I think that was the most awkwardest moment for me. Loved it, but yeah, awkward as hell.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the things I get into are either me running away from things like monsters, or me just kind of talking my way out of it. I don't know. You saved me. That very like E1. I would have died if it wasn't for him.
Last year.
Yeah, E1 last year. You literally saved me. Like I was bleeding out.
Yeah. I
You
was
saved
carrying
me.
away your bleeding corpse for a while.
Bet you wish you hadn't now. But
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
No, because I like that you're upset that we have to get married. I like having that
Look,
power.
I get you fancy me, right? But there's another way to show it, rather
No,
than
there's
forcing
not.
me to marry
No,
you.
forced marriage is the way.
I like you. You must marry me.
There was a couple of events ago, me and Andy, so Crunk and Jura were in Navarre, and it all sort of kicked off, and they were trying to job this one guy, and we ended up just slap bang in the middle of it, kind of like we were trying to get him not to kill him, basically, because we didn't really know what was going on, to be fair. It's to do with the Black Pate. And then we spent the rest of the evening carrying this guy around while people chased him to try and kill him. We ended up in the hub. We ended up in the hub with him there and this other guy who were both also trying to stab people because of the role
Black
play effects of the Black
Plateau curse,
Plateau.
yeah.
And then like 4 or 5 Navari, all in armour with spears, showed up and were like, we're going to kill him. And me and Jura were like, well, you're going to have to kill us. And if you can deal with killing 2 Imperial Orcs, go on. And
You're
both
fighting.
of us are there with like, I had my hammer, no armour on. I was on 2 hits. Jura's on like 2 hits as well. We're both like, yeah, come on, bring it.
It's all about confidence, though.
And they didn't do a
All
thing.
about the confidence.
They didn't. They stepped down. But yeah, it was really fun roleplay, but that was a tough one.
yeah,
That was
you could have ended up.
there was a
okay.
moment of genuine fear for a little bit.
Yeah,
I love stuff like that, though. I love the
good.
moments
It's
to be
good
like, oh my gosh, or like, you know, you're actually crying because that's
Yeah.
happened to me.
Well,
No, I don't cry.
I
I
cried
got
when we
my
did,
tear ducts sealed. This is only the second time we've had to read this question. Someone said a joke about Snape. Did any of you join the game with a specific target in mind? And have you achieved your goal yet? Or has your character deviated and found a niche naturally?
Created ball to become the undisputed champion.
You actually get married.
Did it. Now I've got new goals, but yeah, the one that I originally set him out to do, it's done. It took me just over a year.
Undisputed champion.
'Cause I'm the undisputed.
Oh god, I'm weirdly aroused.
Yeah, so my goal was completed. So now I've got new goals.
Is
You?
it to get a girlfriend?
No, because if I can't, Ball definitely can't.
Yeah, I would say Bull's the prettier of the two.
I know he is.
Yeah.
Totes is.
He's
Mine
actually hot.
was to turn up, curse some people,
Turn up.
and I've done that, and I'll probably do it again. I don't know. I think my goals were like learn to do the magic, and I am learning to do the magic. So my goals are still like there.
Yeah.
I still want my Sinecure. But yeah, I mean, I go to LARP to have a good time. If I also achieve stuff, it's like, oh yeah.
I didn't have a goal at all when I started. I didn't really know. I went into it not really knowing what to expect.
You achieved a lot in a year.
I think I've done alright.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I've done
Wait,
okay.
don't you have a title?
Well, I'm the holder of the Imperial Log Wayleaf
Yeah.
until the vote happens, and I might be again.
Yeah, you'll be
That's
alright, champ.
E3, E4.
Mr.
Can't
Peter
remember now.
Crispus.
Mr. Peter Crispus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, no, I didn't really have a goal. When I first started, actually, I wanted to join the Iron Tide, and then I went to the Pale Rictus. So yeah, I guess actually I did. I had a goal, and I was deviated into a new niche, which is I'm very glad I've landed there because it's a lot of fun. What is the most enjoyable aspect of the character you play?
Pitfying. As we said in our thing, I get to live out a childhood dream every single time I go to play Empire, and that to me is worth every single penny. So yeah,
Definitely.
I think mine's like the stupid banter I have with people, and like the stupid situations I get myself into. I kind of love how my character's just a bimbling idiot, but like somehow knows what's going on and somehow is like actually doing stuff, but also always sort of like tiptoeing, going "Ooh," through it all. Yeah, I think as well, like I enjoy the fact that like Aurora is really sort of like she'll say what she thinks.
Yeah.
She's very
She's very
unapologetic.
straight edge.
she's out.
I like it.
Yeah,
She's
she's
not
outspoken.
straight edge.
She is
But she's outspoken.
But I feel like
definitely.
she's outspoken in a way where it's like she's being true. She's not just,
She
chatting rubbish.
She do bite.
Fine.
Anyway.
Go on.
Yeah, a bit funny thing as well, because as you
Yeah.
say, as we said in the previous video, absolutely is like achieving a childhood dream. But I think the interactions I have with everyone else make playing Crunk so much fun. Like the last event at the Academy, being the butt of everyone's joke
that
at the
was so
Academy
much
was
fun.
just so funny.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
In fact, I then was at did you see that Rosie, not Rachel, I'm calling her by her character name. Rachel had an out of character meetup where we just did some fighting stuff, and there was one of the kids from the Academy. And I said that I went to the Academy. She said, "Oh, you were the one that everyone was beating up," and it was very funny.
Crunk
And
is
it
just the
was.
butt of everybody's
Crunk,
joke.
and I like
that's why
that, but it's
everybody
kind of
tolerates him.
it's very bouncy, you know. And yeah, so
Literally.
stuff like that is so much fun
Yeah.
to do. The
Yeah.
Academy especially was awesome. It was one of the highlights of my weekend.
Empire kids are awesome.
Yeah, they make the world feel
they
so
are-
real.
They're also like made us some hard stuff as
Oh
well.
god, yeah. The
like,
little kid with the throwing knives is
Yeah,
my
he was
hero.
awesome.
What
He was
a champ.
So cool.
Everything, every move was throwing.
I'm not that cool. Like I want to be that cool.
You
man.
can never be that
No.
cool. Who in the nation does your character look up to / respect the most?
Anybody above my height, 'cause I'm tiny.
Hey there.
Literally
So
everybody else.
there's the child orc. That's who you look up to.
Well, he's about the same height.
Yeah. I'd say the person I did look up to is dead.
Oof. Scar.
Yeah.
Gone too
Rip.
soon.
Scar, like, for my character was like the be all and end all type thing. I think since that point there isn't. There hasn't been anyone that he looks up to. He sees everyone as equals. As the way it is. He has a lot of respect for Foul and Raikana. Like there's a lot of love for Raikana actually. But it's more mutual respect.
yeah,
it's
I
not
get you.
anyone that he sees in that light, because since Scar, that was it. I think that kind of made that character a little bit more edgy when Scar passed. So yeah, that's my one.
I have two. So I have Morgul.
Yep.
Because, he's my warlord, he's the general, he's a shaman. Like, to Aurora, she's like, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
Maybe not a general, but, he's the shaman and he's very good at it. And also Shattesh, because she's kind of like taught Aurora, everything she knows about magic. She's been really, she's sort of been like almost like a sister to her.
Yeah.
Well, obviously,
Blood
Blood
Crows
Crows,
are probably
yeah.
but like, and she sort of helped with a lot of stuff, and like, there's been times where like, there's been really hard situations, and so Shattesh has just handled it. Like, she's been on it, and I'm like, you're so amazing, oh my gosh. So, what about you?
You're gonna say Jack, aren't you?
Yeah, but I respect for all the Power Rictus guys, but actually the character that Crunk looks up to the most in the Power Rictus is Tog.
Really?
Yeah, because Tog is like the workhorse. Like, I love going trading with Tog, because watching Tog work while he trades is like, the man's a genius.
Yeah.
And I think in character Crunk aspires to be
That good.
at trading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bull as well, you know, because obviously he's trained them a lot in the pit, and I feel like you know, Crunk, his goal, Crunk wants to beat Bull in a fight. Crunk wants to be good enough that he can beat Bull in a fight. I nearly had you at E1.
You did.
It was a good fight.
It was a very good fight.
And actually, Scar, Crunk looked up to,
Yeah.
especially when he was in the Second Legion. Yeah, big time. And Dor, when Crunk was in the Second Legion still. There's a lot of like Yargol as well. You know?
Yeah, no, I think
I think
overall
Yargol's
was
one
like,
in general, because any time that I have stuff I'm unsure about, that you know, especially when I first started, Yargol was always a good port of call. And with the Wayleaf stuff, you know, he's always helped me out do all that.
as a Blicker as well, he's sort of pushed me to go. Actually, you know what? You're capable. Go do
Yeah,
that
he's
thing.
great.
Like,
He's
it's
he's
just
an
been like-
enabler. He's an
And I
enabler.
was just like, oh,
I think
actually,
that's
didn't
Matt
hear that.
though.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to add. I'm going to add a second part to this question. Out of character, who do you look up to?
Matt Dorswood. Absolute
It's,
icon.
Andrea for being blind. Shout out to my blind homies.
What up?
Yeah,
What
what?
up?
Easy.
Out,
What up?
out of character wise, yeah, again, there's a lot of mutual respect for you know, Matt and Andrea. You know, of how much they've pushed me to do anything that relates to Orc stuff. Got a lot of love for Matt D, just the work that he does. Tom, because Tom is still like really
Yeah,
good. He's
yeah.
always been nice to me. Chris, for being one hell of an
Actually, that's another one in
Edward
character.
Gore.
Both
Yeah,
Grubs in
both
character.
Grubs.
Ed as well.
Yeah.
There's, you know, I love the fact that Ed understands all the wrestling jargon.
Yeah,
When we
yeah.
talk about it, it's like, oh yes, yeah, I like that. And it's like, all right, that's cool. We've got someone who knows their stuff. I just think everyone really is. I mean, that's a few people who are definitely.
To be honest,
shone
you
out.
literally just said everyone that I was going to say.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Dave.
oh,
Dave is the nicest
yeah.
human
Yes.
being.
So
He's also
lovely.
my dad. For those of you that don't know, Dave is now my father. It's on YouTube now, so you can't escape it now, Dave. Sorry, buddy. Last question.
Cool.
What is your favourite photo of each other's characters and why?
I can hands down say I know for both of you already.
Really?
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Zach, yours is the one where you've got loads of people fighting behind you and you're just staring at a camera and just going, "Rah!"
Oh, that is a
Like
good
that's a
one.
really good one. And then there's a one that I love of yours is where you have Epoch sitting in the chair and then you're standing beside
I've got
him.
an apple in my hand in that photo.
And it
And I'm
looks
just
it just looks so on point.
Yeah.
And it really worked with Epoch as a character. I mean, I know a lot of people, you know, weren't overly sold on Epoch. I love the character. I thought it was a really good take on it. It's a shame he's not around anymore. But yeah, I really enjoyed
He
that.
has been, 6 weeks away from retirement
But
for
for
the
ages.
last 4 years.
Yeah.
So
So I would say that's most probably my favourite picture
yeah.
of you.
I know my one for you is when you're walking onto the battlefield and there's all the smoke behind you.
Oh, that is
Ooh,
that is.
yeah.
And
fun.
there's one where you're getting drop kicked. I was trying to find that one, but you're getting
Oh,
drop kicked. That's a really
Tom
good photo.
drop kicks me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think the only thing I don't like about that one is my mask kind of goes down, so it looks like I've got a really thin nose. Because I'm like, oh!
I like, so it's not like just of you, but there's a photo of you, Jura, Tog,
Yeah.
and you're all sitting in your little hole, and
So
it
that
looks
that
so
one
good.
that one I think was done by Steph.
Yeah.
And it was one where you're all sitting around. It looks really.
It's a really cool photo. It just looks so good.
Well, the thing is, I like whenever I do any of the videos and things like that, because Steph is one of the photographers that's given me permission to use her art. I go for all of her, like every single time. I got a little bit to do with you. I had to scan through to find anything, and then with Zach, I have to scan through and try and find anything. So I've most probably been through her folders, like a good 10, 15 times to try and find things.
I know my one for Chloe.
Oh.
The photos of you choke slamming me.
Oh yeah.
That
They're
is
good.
Can I say same like of
Yeah,
you?
that's a good
Because
one.
I'm here just like.
Also, there's a couple ones of really good ones of you in the pit standing there looking epic AF.
Ooh. I did it really aggressive. Because I look at myself and I just look like a small bumbling idiot.
But
But then
everyone is that way.
sometimes I'm like, You're kind of scary. There's a photo of you, and it's like. It's gonna sound weird. It was your phone background for a while. It's the one you're like dramatically
Stood by the
standing
tree
there.
and I'm smirking.
Yeah, and you look really good. And I was
I
like,
like
that's
that
a really
photo.
different.
That was from the Orc Player event.
Yes.
First event with that mask, actually.
That's when we first met.
Oh my god!
But like it's quite a it shows the kind of like a slightly different side of Kronk that isn't just pure energy. It's
Yeah.
quite cute.
Yeah.
I like it. It's cool.
That is all of your questions. We have aid your cues.
I'd cue your A.
Thanks.
I winked, but I had sunglasses on.
Sunglasses on. Thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, if you made it this far,
Yeah. Well done. I'm quite proud.
Thank you for your questions. They were really cool and
Thank you.
interesting. And they made me think about a lot of stuff.
and I'm really sorry that Sammy didn't put names on all the questions. I tried to guess, judging from what I saw.
It's
but
more surprise.
It's not, because then we can't thank people individually. But
They
if you
know
put a
who
question,
they know who they are.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much. We appreciate it. And with that said,
Salve. Well, that's hello. What's the opposite? Salve.
with that said, we will see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching that video. But before you leave, we would like to say thank you to Cal and to Chloe. Cal, thank you very much, mate, for creating one hell of a piece of artwork. It was that good that I decided to put it as our logo for the Orcs Planet. So thank you very much, mate. And to Chloe, Miss Chloe Chaos, I would like to say a big, big thank you for creating an intro and an outro to our shows that we will use from this point on. Thank you very much, mate. Very much appreciate it. I can't do anything like you can, so thank you very much. And thank you for editing this episode, because I don't know how to do it. Anyway, see you in the next one. Bye!